Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kens TV in the house. Like kitchen sinks with that part two. If you ain't seen part one, ain't no sense of watching part two. I'm gonna pin part one in the comment section. Y'all go back and check out part one if you haven't already seen it, as I mentioned. Then you come back, check out part two. Dude's running across the floor. One of the homies is running across the floor. You could tell that he's seen something, that something is definitely on his mind. What's wrong with dude? As I previously mentioned. I ain't gonna believe what I just seen, bro. What's good? What's happening? Man, I went back to get my toboggan or whatever. And when I went back to get my toboggan, I say, man, let me stop in here and use the restroom or whatever. I stop in the restroom. Man, when I walk inside, bro, I see the homie Taye. Man, bro, you not gonna believe this, man. He got Sergeant Jarvis bent over. Whoa, ho. The homies is like, oh, whoa. What do you mean he got him bent over? Exactly what I said, man. When I go into the bathroom, I see the homie Taye got Sergeant Jarvis bent over, going to town on him. Wow. Now, I know a lot of you are like, who is Sergeant Jarvis? Sergeant Jarvis is the officer that's in the thumbnail. It's representing Sergeant Jarvis. Now, Sergeant Jarvis, he was a CO. It just made Sergeant. He just happened to be gay. Nothing wrong with, if that's your preference, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Sergeant Jarvis was one of the coolest officers I'd ever ran across. He didn't care, man, he stay out of my way, I stay out of y'all's way. I ain't trying to write nobody up. I don't even know how he made sergeant, because a lot of times in prison, they want you to be a jerk. If you want to move your way up the ranks, become a sergeant, then lieutenant, then, captain or whatever, you have to be a jerk in a lot of cases. And Sergeant Jarvis, he never bothered nobody. I'm talking about, he would be working visitation. And when you go out on visit, you love to see that he's one of the officers. Oftentimes on visitation, you got maybe 2 to 3 officers that's working visitation. You got some jerks out there that's watching your every move, don't want you to hug your woman, or don't want you to hug her too long, or kiss her, or let you, play with your kids or whatever. But then you got some like Sergeant Jarvis, man, it's whatever. Tell y'all a quick story within a story, but it's concerning Sergeant Jarvis. Y'all rock with me. The first time that I was on visitation, and I seen that he was doing the strip searching. And he's blatantly, a gay man. I see that he's doing the strip searching, and I didn't know how I felt about that, But I tell you what, man, the guy was a straight professional, man. You go into like this little room, like the bathroom or whatever. Now, if you got a jerk, you got to take all your stuff off. Penitentiary, you wear khaki uniforms. So, when you're out on visit, you have to be fully dressed or whatever, fully uniformed. Take your socks off. First, take your pants off. You got on shorts, take those off. Take your socks off. Take your shirt off. Raise your arms up. Stick your tongue out. Lift your tongue. They put a flashlight in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Take your hands through your hair. Pull your boxers down. They take your boxers. You just standing there on the floor. They going through the waistline or whatever. Make sure you don't have anything hidden. It's a humiliation ritual. You just sitting there. Raise your sack. Turn around and squat. Cough. Spread your cheeks. Cough 3 times. Cough louder. Got some jerks. So I'm imagining, like, man, I'm not trying to go through this with Sergeant Jarvis, man. No disrespect. Man, we got in the room, man. He said, man, you got anything on you? I'm like, nah, I don't got nothing on you, man. He was like, here, man, just give me your shirt or whatever. He takes the shirt, kind of does like that or whatever, acts like he's doing something. He said, all right, let me wait about 30 seconds. He's talking to me. How your visit go or whatever? I mean, everything's cool, man. All right, so I'm going to walk out. Just take a few seconds, act like you're getting dressed. And that's how he would do you. So that's a backstory on Sergeant Jarvis. He's telling us, everybody's like, oh, nah, ain't no way. Bro, what do I got to lie for, man? You know what I'm saying? The homie, what do I got to lie for? We end up leaving the gym. We go back down to the, we start heading back down towards the chow hall. And that's the word on the yard. It starts to circulate. Ain't nobody keeping no secrets in prison. Now, me, I don't say nothing. You know what I mean? Because I don't want my name caught up in anything. And I don't want to be the one that's being accused of spreading rumors, especially about this individual. Because Taye, even though he got caught up with Sergeant Jarvis, Taye was not a person to play with, even in prison, man. May not be no guns, but there's knives in there. So I already know it's going to be an issue. I know it's going to be an issue. The individual that walked in, they seen each other. Taye seen him, and obviously he seen Taye. Once the word starts to circulate on the yard, who do you think Taye's going to run to? Nevertheless, as I mentioned, that's just the talk of the yard, man. Now, it's not really that big of a talk. Like, it's prison, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say that everybody indulges, because they don't. They don't. The majority of people in prison, in my opinion, don't indulge in that sort of activity, if you will. But at the same time, it is normal to see that sort of activity, if you will. You got people that are walking around that's just open about it. You got gorillas on the yard, man. They got, quote unquote girlfriends. They boyfriends, but they refer to them as their girlfriends. See them eating together, see them rooming together, same cell together. Okay, that's dude's, significant other, to say the least. Better not mess with, because if you mess with his significant other, you have a problem. Like I said, man, you got gorillas, man. That might just happen to be a little zesty. Respectfully. So as the word circulates around the yard or whatever, as I've already predetermined in my mind, instant beef. Instant beef. Taye approaches the homie. And bruh, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even like that. It wasn't even, you didn't see what you thought you saw. Bruh, you can't tell me what I saw. Now, we in penitentiary, man. So, yeah, Taye's a gorilla, but ain't nobody no chumps either. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody exactly afraid of Taye. You just don't really want the friction and the drama. You trying to go home. Not extend your stay. So they going through their thing or whatever. Taye's being a little bit more hesitant to do anything of the sorts as far as violence, because he doesn't necessarily want to put himself in a predicament to where he catches a major write-up for doing something to somebody, and then he gets shipped away. Now he can't be around Sergeant Jarvis. As time went on, he started to hear more and more about the two. Started seeing them engage, indulge more and more. It was another inmate that, I don't know if he was necessarily trying to holler at Sergeant Jarvis, but seems that he was trying to get his, put his bid in or whatever. Taye found out about that, whooped the dude. And he whooped him, but the homie he didn't put his hands on. I guess he felt as though, man, this is me. This is me, man. Don't be talking to my, significant other. Now, on the flip side of all of this, what was so crazy about this story and about this situation is that you had Big Suge. Big Suge's about, they call him Big Suge because he somewhat resembles Suge Knight. If you're not familiar who Suge Knight is, just Google him. He's a former record executive, record owner, for y'all that don't know. Bald head dude, caramel complected, probably about 6 foot, wore a big beard. Kind of had a little stomach. He was stocky, but he had a little stomach to him or whatever. And when you really, really think about it, he did resemble Suge Knight. But they call him Big Suge, man. And Big Suge, he on the yard. He ain't no joke. He don't bother nobody or whatever. But he's one that you don't want to run up on him. You know what I mean? Big Suge had a sister. His sister was kicking it with Taye. They had kids together. She was coming to see him every single weekend. Every time them doors cracked, she'd be there. Big Suge's girl had family and people that came to see him just as well, so they would often see each other on visit. He feels as though he's in a crossfire. I need to let my sister know this, man. I need to let my sister know that he's in here, and indulging. I see them out on visit, they hugging, they kissing, but at the same time, you going back and you with dudes, y'all sneaking around. Now, it's only a matter of time before administration is going to hear about this because, again, in prison, man, the word spreads. And it doesn't take long whatsoever. Big Suge don't like Taye at all at this point. But he never really approaches him on that manner. One day they ended up having a discussion. Man, let me holler at you, man. They spinning the block. Walking the loop. Hey, bro. It's my sister, man. I ain't got nothing to do with not trying to tell you what to do. You're a grown man. But it's my sister, my nieces and nephews. They come to see you every single week. And you in here messing around? You in the game? That's what they call it in Kentucky. You in the game? That means when you mess around with, same sex. Bro, wasn't even nothing like that, man. You know what I'm saying? We was in the bathroom, man, and then, man, that nigga's lying, man. Bro, ain't nobody lying on you, man. Who's making up a story like that? Ain't nobody lying on you, bro. Now, like I said, I don't want to tell my sister because it's not my business what you do. It's my business when it comes to my family, my loved ones. But it ain't my business what you do. So that's going to be something that you need to let her know. I'm going to stay out of it, bro. I'm going to stay out of it. But you really need to let her know, man. And let her decide if she's going to continue to kick it with you or not. After that, he never says anything else to Taye. Months go past. Same program, same stilo, if you will. Saturday, 9 to 3's visit. Sunday, 9 to 3's visit. He would see Taye out there on visit and would just burn him up every single time he seen him out there. Suge would see Taye on visit because he's thinking to himself like, bro, where have your lips been at, man? You out here kissing my sister? You out here... Now, luckily, there's no conjugal visits or anything of the sort, so she didn't have an opportunity to... I don't know if opportunity is let's rewind it. Yes, a manual rewind, man. She didn't have to worry about contracting any sort of potentially contracting any sort of diseases of the sorts because they couldn't do anything like that. But what about when he gets out? He's not serving a life sentence. What about when he comes home? They already got kids. You think they coming home to and having protecting themselves, when they do their thing in the bedroom? No. He's not going to tell her exactly what he was in there doing. Then it's all going to fall on me. Something happens or whatever. Bro, you my bro. Why didn't you tell me? You were supposed to tell me. Big Suge's the big bro. He takes it amongst himself. He said, you know what? I know that I'm about to go home. Big Suge was about to go home. So he's really, really trying to walk a tight rope, a tight line, if you will, because he knows that if he says something, and he's not afraid of Taye by any stretch of the imagination, but he knows if he says something, and guess what? His own. Once again, his own. It's going to be write-ups galore. It's going to be violence. Somebody's going to get hurt. He goes back up for parole. He's not going to make parole. Actually, I think he was serving out. But see, in prison, you earn good time. So when you earn your good time, it's like, let's just say you serving a 10-year sentence. You may get 5 years off your sentence for taking classes, having good behavior, just things of that nature. But when you catch a write-up, you'll lose that good time. Sometimes you can get it back, but sometimes it's non-restorable depending on how bad the charges are or the write-up is. Just paint a picture for you. Come on, Kens. We know how prison works. You was at the meat of the story. We want the meat, man. Y'all jump in the comment section and let me know. We want the meat. Respectfully. Oh, man. So like I was saying, he felt compelled to say something to his sister, but he said, nah, man. Nah, let me get home first. Let me get out of this environment first. Then I'll let her know. Because he's obviously not going to tell her. Like I said, some months passed. Finally, that day came where it was time for Big Suge to go home. He goes home, all the homies. What's up? All right, man. I'm going to holler at y'all, man. You be easy out there on the street, man. You know, that's how it is when one is getting out of prison. We gonna miss you, can't get right. That's how it be, man. Big Suge goes home. Probably about a week or so later. Hey, sis, man, let me holler at you, man. Yeah, what's up, big bro? He breaks it down. I don't have to break it down to you all once again because I already broke it down. He breaks the exact same thing down to his sister as far as, what Taye was in there doing. You just now telling me this? Look, sis, I had to talk with dude. First of all, I had to confirm that it was true, even though I knew that it was true, because why would somebody make up a story like that? But you could tell because you would see the two of them talking and all the time. And I just didn't really want to get in the middle of it. You know how a dude is, and you know how I am. So I just said, you know what, bro? I'm going to give you the chance to say something to my sister first. If you're not willing to say something, at that point, I was going to say something. But then I got to really, really thinking about it. And I said, well, we going to get into it bad. I'm going to get shipped away, which means I'm going to catch a heck of a write-up. Because I ain't letting nobody do. I know how a dude's coming. Pause. I know how he's a violent dude or whatever. So it ain't going to just be these 9 times out of 10. He going to get shipped away. And it's just one of those things to where I just felt as though I should wait. She don't believe it. She don't believe it. Why would I lie to you, sis? I don't got no reason to lie to you. Me and that dude don't have no business, and I just don't believe he would be in there doing something like that. The dude's a straight gangster, as I've mentioned several times in this story already. They end up talking on the phone. She tells him, I heard you was in there messing around or whatever. What you talking about, baby? I ain't. You and this some white officer, Sergeant Jarvis. Hey, baby, no, listen, man. Man, it's haters in here, but watch what you say on the phone. You can't be saying stuff like that over the phone. I don't give a damn about no phone. Are you in there messing around? Are you in there? Listen, maybe just come to visit this weekend. I'm not coming down there to visit unless you tell me the truth. Baby, I need you to stop saying these things on the phone. They recording a phone conversation. They do. Prison phones, they tell you anything you say, subject to recording. Finally, she stops. She's heated. She's hurt. But she wants to believe him. But she didn't already say what she said now. So she comes down to visit. They talking on visit. He's telling baby, man, we can't be talking like that on the phone, man. You know what I mean? They monitoring the phone conversation. Now, it's the luck of the draw unless they just like really after you or, if because there's so many inmates that get on the phone. But if they're already investigating you about something, they're listening to your every call. Nah, man, dude's just hating on me, man. He mad at me about some money situation or whatever. So that's the number one thing they're going to throw on you. And a lot of times that's true. It's the number one thing they're going to throw on you in the penitentiary or even in the real world. They're going to call you a rat or they're going to say that you zesty, even if you're not. Those are just the two most, hurtful things to say about an individual. I love you, man. Ain't nobody on that, man. Ain't nobody on that whatsoever. Were we in the bathroom? Yeah, because I work in the gym. You know what I'm saying? So I was in the bathroom. He had me in the gym, in the restroom fixing something or whatever. Yeah, you were fixing something, all right. But they had him in the restroom they had me in the restroom fixing something, baby. And that's all it was. Dude came in or whatever. Wasn't even nothing like that, man. And I was going to split him. I was going to split his wig, man. But only reason I let it ride, I approached him. I confronted him. He the homie. He my homeboy or whatever. And for two, I didn't want to get into any trouble because they shipped me away. Now I'm 3-4 hours away, 2.5, 3 hours away. It's a long drive for y'all to have to come. I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about the family, but man, ain't nothing like that ever happened. Now she's conflicted, but she feels a lot more confident that she's actually spoken to him in person. She ends up talking to her brother again. She's telling her brother, Big Suge, exactly, what Taye had told her or whatever. Man, that nigga lying, man. You can believe whatever you want to believe. That nigga lying. Ain't nobody, once again, got to make up nothing. So when he comes home and you decide you want to, continue on with him, just know what he was in there doing. That hinders their relationship. Big Suge, he mad. He upset because little sis don't want to listen to me. Lil sis is mad at Big Suge because at Big Bro because he's saying these things, but all he's doing is giving her the real spiel. In the meanwhile, on the prison yard, there's an investigation going on. Remember when I said word travels throughout the prison? So administration, internal affairs, they get to hearing about these two messing around. The phone conversation. They go back and check the phone conversations. She's saying it, but they really can't confirm anything, but they're really, really watching the situation. They're watching the situation rather closely, and I honestly believe that they didn't take immediate action because of, how can I put this? Sergeant Jarvis was a gay man. So they treaded lightly. You see what I'm saying? Because they didn't want to just jump to conclusions and fire him, and because they don't want to line themselves up for yet another lawsuit. So they did their due diligence, did an investigation, started investigating the two, watching the two. Got to the point to where they couldn't really prove anything. So nothing really happened on that end as far as Sergeant Jarvis losing his job or being transferred, and surprisingly, they never transferred Taye. I can't believe it, because typically they'll do what's called administrative transfer. If they suspect you doing something on the yard, illegal activity, whether it's drugs, cigarettes, or messing with a CO, or just doing anything that they deem as inappropriate or illegal, and they can't catch you, they'll throw you in the hole. You sit in the hole pending investigation, and sometimes they'll let you out of the hole, or a lot of times, man, they'll just ship you. Can't catch you up doing anything, we'll ship you. They do it to legal aids in prison too. A legal aid is essentially not necessarily a lawyer, but he's a representative. For instance, if you catch a write-up, right, and you go before the committee, you have somebody representing you. Well, that's a legal aid. You go to school and get your training for like 2 months, something like that. Then you come back and you're a real live legal aid, and you say, okay, well, according to section such and such in the handbook, he's not guilty because of this. And you got dudes that are really, really in there beating the system. They'll transfer you off the yard too. If you beating all the write-ups, you go to a legal aid, man, give me $20, $30, man, $15, whatever. And they take your case for you, and they're beating the write-ups. Guess what? They're gonna admin your ass out of there. So at any rate, nothing ever happens about that. Then the day comes. The day finally comes to where Taye gets out of prison. And I'm going to leave y'all with that cliffhanger, man. Y'all stay tuned for part 3. Y'all stay tuned for part 3, because it's really gonna... What? Hold on, what? You don't want a part 3? Y'all don't want a part 3? You want me to tell you all what happened right now? Not now, but right now? That's how the country boys in the hollers talk. Not now, but right now, by God. I want to know what happens right now. Fair enough. Taye gets out of prison. He goes back with baby's mama, with his girl. Very, very uncomfortable situation for her, because she don't know what happened. She's still questioning what happened. She's hearing more and more. Other people have telling her, yeah, he's definitely in there messing around. Definitely. So just be careful, because he's definitely messing around. She's making him wear protection. He got to go get my chart, get tested or whatever. He goes. Everything comes back clean or whatever. I told you, baby. As though it proves anything. I told you, baby. I ain't messing around on you, man. Especially nothing like that, man. These niggas out here hating on me, man. She feels good about that, so they kicking it. All the while, her and Big Suge, now they done got to the point to where they just don't speak at all. They're not speaking whatsoever. These rumors that she's hearing, and they're not rumors, is the truth. Getting louder and louder. But it's quiet whispers, because no one's going to say these things in front of Taye. Taye's back out now. Taye picked up that thing. Is just what he does, man. one day, Taye had ended up leaving his phone at the house. I don't know how you leave your phone at the house, because most people, you got your phone with you wherever you go. Even if you get across town, you like, oh man, I left my phone. I got to go back and get it. Especially if you know you got some dirt in your phone. At this point, Taye had been out for maybe about 4 months. She notices that he left his phone. I guess it's something that was eating away at her. She's sitting there and she's thinking, I can go through his phone. I wonder what this nigga been doing. He been acting kind of suspect anyway lately. Coming in late. You know, they were supposed to go do things sometimes and then he can't make it. And so she's really, really wondering, who was he out here messing with? She grabs the phone. She goes through the phone. She figures out his code. Yeah, he got a code on his phone. But guess what, fellas? A woman that's really, really trying to figure out what you're doing and who you're doing it with, she gonna get in that phone. She gonna get in that Facebook. She gonna get in that Instagram. She gonna get in that whatever social media. She gonna figure out, because we so feeble-minded. We use the simplest of codes, our birthdays or her birthday or just something that she could figure out. And she figures it out. She gets in the phone. She goes through the phone. She's able to see that there's messages going back and forth, but it's not too many. But it's just one number. She looks in the call log. She sees one number in particular to where he's been talking to more frequent than everybody else. That doesn't prove anything. The messages, it's not really anything that's, overwhelming evidence. What does she do? She figures out a way through the phone company to get the printouts. She gets the printouts of all the text messages and the call logs in which they've talked. He's erased a lot of the stuff on his phone. He thought that he was one step ahead. Come to find out, all this time, Big Bro was telling me the truth. I never should have doubted him in the first place. Taye done got out. Not only was he messing around behind her back still, he was still messing around with Sergeant Jarvis. I can't make this up, man. Y'all rock with me. If you like your 10 to 15 minute videos, 12-minute videos, absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But at Real Kens TV, it's 30 minutes or better. 30 minutes or better. Even with all that being said, though, there is a message. Come on, Kens, we can let you drink your water. Look at you, you coughing and everything. Get back to the story, man. Come on, man. She got the printouts. This dude is sickening. This is what she's thinking. She's hot. She's heated. She confronts him with the information. They get into a drag out, just outright fight. I'm talking about they actually fight. She threw him out of the house. He's trying to kick the door in. He's trying to... Who does she call? She don't call the police. Who she call? Big Bro. I cannot stand that. I cannot stand when you're in a situation, instead of handling your own situation, you get somebody else involved. Calls Big Suge. Big Suge comes over. At that point, Taye's already gone. He calls him on the phone. Nigga, if you ever come around here, you know what I'm saying, with that foolery, that foolishness, my sister, you put your hands on my sister, it's on. If you ever come around here again. Essentially, he's telling him, I'm going to unalive you. Oh, Taye? No, Taye. No, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You coming with that foolishness, man. You told her this, and now we ain't together no more. I'm not trying to hear none of that. You was in there and you was messing around. Yeah, I told her. You shouldn't have been messing around. You come back over here, you know what it is. Yeah, all right. So going back and forth. A few weeks pass. Now, this is a difficult situation, scenario, because Taye, they have kids together. So he's still calling. He's still trying to come around. She didn't have to go get an EPO out on the dude because he didn't threaten her and all types of things. Now, Taye's still on parole. So And basically what they call it is MRT in Kentucky. They kick you out of prison. Mandatory release. MRS. It's not MRT. MRS. They kick you out of prison. Your last 7 months, they make you go home, even if you like, man, I don't want to go. I want to just finish my time out here. And a lot of people don't want to do it because they're going to make you have a parole officer report every week or once a month, take drug tests. And you're like, dude, I'm already in prison, man. I'm already in my bit. I'm in bit mode. Let me go on and finish my bit out. But that's not what they do here. So he's still on a form of supervision. Once they filed the EPO out on him, now the emergency protective order, or DVO, domestic violence order. Now this PO's wanting to know why. So he's telling the PO, like, listen, man, I don't know what they going through, man. They making up stuff or whatever. PO's really, really watching the situation closely. And you got two situations, okay? First of all, you're a convicted felon. You're not supposed to have a gun. That's the first thing. Secondly, if you have any sort of EPO, DVOs filed on you and you get caught up with a gun, that's automatic fed time. Automatic. It's not even a discussion. They tell you. Even if you're not a felon, but you have one of those charges filed on you, you have to get rid of your weapon until the charge is resolved. They said a few weeks goes past. Two mountains will never meet. But guess who will? Two men. Taye's at the house one day. He's going through his thing, trying to get in. She won't let him in. He's not kicking or beating the door down or nothing like that. Come on, baby, let's just talk about this, man. I miss you. I miss the kids. Listen, man, just let me explain. You fellas, you know how we are. Just let me explain. Just let me talk to you. I need to see your face. I need to be able to look you in your eye and tell you I was wrong, but let me tell you why I did it. I was afraid. See, sometimes, fellas, we afraid. I was afraid. Afraid of what? I was afraid of losing you. I broke weak when I was inside. I broke weak, but I never stopped loving you. She wasn't trying to hear none of that. He leaves. Comes back later on. When he comes back later on to give it another shot, he sees that Big Suge's there. Actually, Big Suge is like walking out of the house, about to leave. Yeah, what's up with all that shit you was talking, nigga? What's up with all that? He pulls out on him. Pulls out on him, man. At this point, it's not broad daylight, but it's not all the way dark either. Big Suge is very, very, not necessarily afraid, but he's apprehensive. I mean, he knows this dude, what he's really, really about. And if he pulls it out, he ain't just pulling it out just to show him that he got it. Starts firing at Big Suge. Boom, boom. He's firing at him. Ends up hitting him one time, like in the, not necessarily the chest, but like shoulder area. Caught him. He done fired probably 7, 8, 9 shots. Big Suge was able to, get to a safe place or whatever. And Taye would typically finish off the job, but for whatever reason, jumped in the whip. He's gone. Skid it off. Being that this is the age of where a lot of people have cameras. Now, this story took place about 10 years ago, but people had cameras then. Maybe not at the rate that they have them now. People have cameras. People was able to see, give a description. And they ended up arresting him. He got charged, felon in possession of a handgun. What do you call it? Violating the EPO, DVO with the firearm. Wanting endangerment, because when he shot, he hit a couple people. Luckily, nobody else got hurt. Wanting endangerment, because he shot into a couple people's houses. Shooting at him, it hit a couple people's houses. Anybody could have been in there. Any innocent bystander. First degree assault, because he hit him in the shoulder. A slew of charges. Feds came in and picked it up, as I said that they would. This dude was a violent offender. Feds picked the charges up. He had no choice but to cop out to like 400 months. Hold on, kids, let me do the math. 400 months. 400, let me see. Take the 3, then you take the 400 months. He copped out to like 35 years. 35 years. 35, 36 years in the feds. Had to. If he didn't, he was going to get natural life. There's a lot that you can take from this story. Big Suge ended up being all right. You know, like I said, he just got hit in the... And I don't want to downplay the fact that he got hit in his shoulder and he's all right. I don't want to suggest as though that's not a big deal, because it is. But I'm simply saying that, you know, he wasn't unalived. You know, prison is just one of those things that this sort of thing happens on a regular basis. Maybe not with the CO. This sort of thing happens. I've seen it go both ways. I've seen times to where people have said that a person was in there messing around, and I never seen them messing around. I don't mean that they weren't, but they don't mean that they were either. Because some people, they'll just say anything. Oh yeah, he was in prison doing this, doing that. And it don't even be like that. But if someone comes to you and they tell you, like with my own eyes, and it's someone that's close to you and they tell you what they seen with their own two eyes, you may want to take heed. Look what all it cost. It cost a perfect relationship between brother and sister to go bad. Although they ended up coming back around. He ended up getting shot because he told his sister the truth. Dude is mad because he told his sister the truth. And so therefore, the brother has to suffer for what the guy that the guilty party is actually doing. It's just so much that comes along with that. Be mindful. I would advise anybody, first of all, you should get your mind charts. You should get tested anyway on a regular basis. You with somebody, you're not with somebody, and you just doing your thing from time to time, I would advise anybody to get tested. And I would definitely advise anybody to, if you're waiting on your significant other and they come out of prison, I would advise that, come on, baby, let's go get tested. What are you saying? You saying I was in there doing... Nah, we both gonna get tested. I'm gonna show you I wasn't out here doing nothing. And it's just a way to where we both know that we're clean. Sad situation, man. It's a very, very sad situation. But it was only a matter of time before they got Taye anyway. Or somebody got him, put him in the ground. This dude was a real live menace. I do wonder how that situation panned out. Did Sergeant Jarvis continue to keep in touch? I seriously doubt it. 35, 36 years in the feds. It's 10 years ago. He still got a ways before he has an opportunity to get out. He's in his 40s now. So barring anything happening to him in prison like that, yeah, he'll eventually make it out of the door. I wouldn't want to be in them shoes. Understand, if you're doing something like that on the inside and you got a loving family coming to see you every single week, you may want to reevaluate your situation and determine what's more important to you. Because not only did Taye continue to kick it with Sergeant Jarvis out on the streets, like he really had true feeling, like I love you type, like he had feelings for him. But yet, coming home to wifey and the kids every single night. Real Kids TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Man, I got a homie, man. Well, actually from New York, man. My partner. And I'm going to shout his channel out. I'm not going to do it on this video because I want to tell y'all more about the channel. He's doing prison content just like me, and he does reaction videos. And I want y'all to really, really check him out. Got some nice content. He's trying to get his channel off the ground. Like I said, I'm going to give you all his name. I'm going to put a link up on my next video, send you straight to his channel. I just wanted to give you the heads up, man. There is a message. Real Kids TV.